So a very warm welcome to one and all present here. I am Dr. Shikha Daga, Associate Professor from PGDAV College, University of Delhi, along with my co-author, Dr. Kiran Yadav, who is Assistant Professor at PGDAV College, University of Delhi. We are here to present our research on the title, Evaluating the Impact of Economic and Technological Factors on Consumption-Based Carbon Emissions in resource-rich countries. So let me give a brief about this topic before moving on to the empirical results that I have calculated. As we know that economic growth and environmental sustainability are two crucial objectives in today's scenario that often face a trade-off. The problem becomes more prominent in countries that have an abundance of resources. It happens because as and when economies strive to increase the level of growth, it is often backed by the exploitation of natural resources, which leads to greater emissions. The top five resource-rich countries, namely Russia, United States, Saudi Arabia, Canada, and Iran, thus have a huge responsibility to manage the twin goal of growth integrated with sustainability. In fact, as per the recent data, 2023 has been the warmest 10-year period on record. There is a vast literature that highlights crucial factors having an impact on carbon emissions, but the results are not unanimous, as they differ based on the region under study, variables used, and statistical tools implemented. For instance, technological advancements are considered to have a negative influence on carbon emissions. In addition to this, there are factors like natural resource rent that are found to possess differing relationships across different countries and at different levels of growth. There are other variables like international trade, foreign direct investment that are also found to have an impact on the carbon emission. In fact, income is also considered one of the very important variables, and the theory that relates the income with the carbon emission, which is the environmental Kuznets curve. In fact, it has also shown differing relationships and differing impact on the various countries and regions under study. The absence of any uniform analysis adds to the need for addressing the issue, and this is the main motivation behind our study. So moving forward, the key objective of the study is to address the trade-off between economic growth and environmental sustainability. And we will focus on the resource-rich economies, that is Russia, USA, Saudi Arabia, Canada, and Iran, that are also facing challenges in managing growth along with reduction in the emission. The literature background, as we can see that technological advancements are found to lower the emissions. Similarly, resource exploitation in growth-focused economies are also found to have increased emissions. And because of the mixed evidence, this study becomes all the more important. The key theory which underlines this particular research is the carbon curse theory, which is a corollary of the resource curse theory, and it helps in explaining that resource abundance is linked to emissions due to dependence on extractive industries. Resource-rich nations face unique governance and environmental challenges also. The literature gap that motivated us to carry on this research has been to find out the dynamic interdependence and spillover effects in the resource-rich economies. And the study will contribute in examining the carbon curve's presence and impact of factors like GDP, renewable energy, technology, and the natural resource rent. If we take into consideration the recent academic literature and the carbon emission, we can see that there has been a direct relation between the two. As the carbon emission has been rising, the studies related to the carbon emission too has been on a rise in the current century. If we look at the bibliometric of which are the most influential countries that are producing most research in this domain, we find that it is China, followed by United States, United Kingdom, India, and Australia. These are the key variables that we have used in our study. The independent variables are gross domestic product, which is a proxy for the income or the growth of the economies, renewable energy consumption, technological advancements, and the natural resource rent. The dependent variable we have taken is the consumption-based carbon emission. And the hypothesis that we are testing is that higher resource abundance, it correlates with greater emission, which is supported by dynamic interactions. We have used penal vector autoregression model, impulse response function, and various dog decomposition. And to check the robustness of the study, we have used fixed modified ordinary least square as well as the partially modified ordinary least squares. So this is the result of our panel vector autoregression model, which states that economic growth and technological advancements play crucial roles in shaping carbon emission in resource-rich economies. While economic growth may drive emissions, technology adoption, particularly renewable energy, can mitigate the environmental impact, highlighting the importance of policy-driven sustainable development. These are the charts that show the impulse response function of the variables on the consumption-based carbon emission. And the plot illustrates the impact of GDP on carbon emission with a 95% confidence interval. And it shows that as GDP increases, the carbon emission initially rises significantly before stabilizing and gradually declining over time. It suggests a potential decoupling effect where economic growth may lead to reduced emissions in the long run due to technological or efficiency improvements. Similar results are seen in case of the natural resource rent, renewable energy consumption, as well as the research and development expenditure. So the findings of this study highlights that resource-rich countries are likely to emit more due to their resource dependency. And the study has examined both short and long-term effects of economic and technological factors. As far as the policy recommendations are concerned, we can say that these countries should adopt technological advancements for cleaner energy transition, and they should design policies that mitigate carbon emission without compromising on the economic growth. The study provides empirical evidence on dynamic interdependence of emissions determinant in resource-rich economies. However, in the future research, we can explore additional moderating variables like governance quality or institutional frameworks. That is it from my side. I would be doing more research related to the topic, and hopefully I'll very soon come up with the paper which can be cited by various researchers related to the resource-rich economies. Thank you so much.